Hello, hi, good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on how much you are jet lagged. I would say let's wait. Okay, Rob is here. Good. So thank you very much, everybody, to be here in the afternoon. So what you're going to do this afternoon in this panel is that we're going to cover actually one topic which is particularly core to my heart, and I think is very important into the retail sector and extremely up to date. Which is about how really the customers' behavior at the moment are changing, and how really technology, and especially we're going to look at a lot about AI, which is the hot topic of the moment, they're really helping us at the moment to capture better those emotions and streamline the customer experience, the customer journey, and making an omni-channel approach even more integrated and even smarter. So let me just start by asking all our panelists to briefly introduce themselves and also a little bit about the company. And then just a quick note, so we're going to have a little bit of time for Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, leave it at the end. We're going to have 3 to 5 minutes. And I will ask all the panelists to be sweet and short because this panel is quite big. So we need to be sure that everyone has the opportunity to share their information and knowledge. Okay, so let's start maybe at the bottom with the small introduction. Oh, is it working?
Okay. It's working?
Yeah, all good.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vishal. I lead technology for Mayor Group. It's a strategic investment group based out of Abu Dhabi, and we represent AD Coop, Spar in retail, and we also have retail business. Apart from retail business, we have real estate and other investment holdings. That's what I do and I come from. Another note, this is a company which is fairly new for many of you. It's a company which is born out of a merger of 5 different cooperatives in the country, which was earlier Abu Dhabi Cooperative, Al Dafra Cooperative, Dalma Cooperative, Earth and Megamart. Now it's just Mayor Group, listed in ADX. More than 2 billion sales revenues. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olivier Leblanc. I'm the Chief Digital and Technology Officer for Ghassan Aboud Group, which is a diversified family conglomerate. We operate in automotive, grocery retail with the grandiose supermarket chain, in healthcare, logistics, and hospitality.
Hey everyone, my name is Rob. I'm Vice President of Marketing and Ecom for the Al Shire Group. Those of you that were here this morning would have heard our CEO, John Haddon, talk about a number of things. So assuming most of you guys were here, I won't try and cover the same thing. We're a fairly big franchise operator here in the Middle East. We look after about 60 brands in our portfolio, pretty much all of which you'll have heard of. Many of the brands we look after are US brands, but lots of European brands as well. And yeah, half of our business is fashion, half of our business is food. And yeah, there's a lot going on in the Al Shire world at the moment, as some of you would have heard this morning. So very excited to be here and looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Harshdeep Jolly. I lead technology and AI strategy for Al Futtaim. Hopefully many of you would be familiar with the Al Futtaim Group. It's a diversified conglomerate, one of the oldest in the region, cutting across retail, automotive, real estate, healthcare, and other sectors. So think brands like Marks & Spencer, IKEA, Toyota, and Lexus, and the like.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jay. I'm the Chief Operating Officer at The Luxury Closet. The Luxury Closet is primarily the pioneer in the region for buying and selling pre-owned luxury bags, footwear, clothes, fine jewelry. We've been in the industry for about 12 years now and looking forward to this discussion.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Adam. I'm the head of IT and e-commerce for Chemist Warehouse, UAE and Ireland. For those who don't know, Chemist Warehouse is the largest pharmacy group in Australia, and we have branches all across Australia, New Zealand, the UAE, China, and Ireland. We have 2 stores now here in the UAE, expanding to another 3 by the end of this year, and on target for 50 by the end of 2030. So exciting times ahead.
Hi everyone, this is, my name is Sharif and I'm the Vice President of Braze in GCC. For those who don't know Braze, so Braze powers, helps retailers power all the engagement that they're striving to, all the messages that they send you across different channels in whatever shape or form that those may take, whether it's WhatsApp, SMS, email. So I'm the only tech panelist today, and I'm excited to, and it's a privilege to be here with all the other members.
Lovely, thank you very much. So maybe, Sharif, we can start by you. So we're going to give a little bit of a tech angle. So I was just, if you can share with us, how really do you see the AI impact in really trying to streamline the customer journey and making really omni-channel more effective? So how AI is actually now helping us, and how Braze is already using AI for making an omni-channel approach smarter and more effective?
Yeah, so I'm going to try to be brief given the number of panelists we have. So if you think about, and I've been privileged to connect and engage with a lot of the marketing leaders in the region and globally, you'll find that a lot of customers tend to really be concerned and focus on two things. One is delivering the right message and the right personalized message and content to the right person at the right time. And that could take a lot of shapes and forms. So if you think about a marketing executive or a retailer that wants to make sure in Ramadan a casual browser becomes a loyal customer after that time period, there comes a need for a platform that can help you understand and listen to the different customer signals, whether it's offline or online, and then how do you automate those campaigns? And I can get into AI, I don't know if you want me to get into it now, but, and then how do you use AI to streamline your operations and ultimately send fewer messages that resonate with those end customers?
Yeah, thank you very much. So I will not just go to Adam, because I think it would be nice now to look maybe from an IT perspective. The company is going through quite a lot of transformation, and IT is always one of the key departments. So I was just looking from an IT perspective, what do you see is needed to make the use of technology, for example, AI, effective, especially when you have, for example, physical store, digital store, so you need to integrate quite a multitude of channels, data, problems. So what has been your experience so far?
So I think IT, like with anything, is the forefront of where we're going from a technology perspective. Every part of the business is now touched by IT. We're an integral part of absolutely everything that happens, from our first interaction with our customer right the way down to the delivery to the customer's door. I think we're seeing more and more in the workspace that business owners are taking an ownership level when it comes to tech projects and projects in general. IT's there to support them. IT's there to handhold them through the process. IT can't do it themselves, and for all the IT leaders here, I implore you all to get your CEOs on board, educate them on AI. I had a CEO who I won't name who came to me recently and said, let's implement AI. and it's not as simple as that. It's finding those problem statements, it's solving the problems with AI, really changing the way in which we look at the business holistically. We currently have offline stores at the moment. There's 2 offline stores here. We're launching our e-com next week, hopefully. We only started the project in May. And really now it's about taking that data that we have from the offline business, bringing it into the online, and then making sure that whatever customer transacts with us online also gets that same benefit in store, and just really amalgamating everything together with the help of the entire business, not just being led by IT alone.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that what you're talking about, because, for example, most of the time we tend to delegate everything to IT, but actually it's an organizational effort. Everything has to be done together. I would want to go to Jai, because I think you have an interesting perspective more from a luxury point of view, because the luxury is a particular sector where trust, traceability, they do become quite important. And I would like you to share maybe some insights in terms of maybe how technology and AI now they are helping in really building this trust in the luxury product with customers.
Sure.
like you rightly pointed out, trust is the most important factor when it comes to selling pre-owned luxury. Because, if you're buying a Louis Vuitton bag online, the first question that would arise in your mind is whether it's authentic or not. And that, I think, is our biggest asset as well, in terms of the trust that we've gained from our customers throughout the year. Now, therefore, we followed a dual level approach to, ensuring we are able to build that trust. And that trust comes in by ensuring that our products are 100% authentic. So for authenticity, we follow a double layer approach, one being our in-house team of experts who've been trained over years and do a physical check of each item to ensure that it is authentic. This is augmented by advanced AI technology, which leverages machine learning as well as microscopic analysis to see the details which are not visible to the naked eye. And with a combination of these, the expert craftsmanship as well as advanced technology, we are able to guarantee a lifetime guarantee for all our products that we are selling. To me, this is not going to stop here. The entire data that we are collecting for all the products that are passing through the system is adding to our data warehouse, is like a huge asset for us, which we will leverage in future for new AI models that we build to be able to make this process more robust, more efficient, reduce the amount of human intervention. So, yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Thank you very much. And I would say now, Harshdeep, I think for me it would be interesting and in different perspective because Al-Futtaim has a huge portfolio of different brands. And sometimes, when it comes to AI, you can think about that, you want to have AI to track differently customer experiences depending on the brand. But actually my question is, what do you think is a good way to have a unified strategy, to look at overall all the brand, overall all the customer experience? Because it's really by this unified approach that you can get quite a lot of insights.
Thank you, great question. So I would say, started our AI journey a couple of years ago. And when we did that, we were very clear that this is an organization business transformation. This is not a tech-led transformation. So it was very important to have our operating model very clear. So we set up a group AI office under the leadership of our chief AI officer. And the whole intent was to manage the overall transformation, set the bold strategy and vision, and manage the transformation. At the same time, like you said, we are a diversified conglomerate, and within that, different business, different brands have different needs. So there was a more federated approach where the businesses and the brands owned what we call the opportunity pipeline and the value outcomes. We did not want to do AI for fun or hobby horsing, right? They have to be very clear value outcomes. It needs to align to your business or brand strategy. Mm-hmm. So at the same time, technology, as a group technology's role was to make sure all the technology enablers and foundation is in place. So that is working very closely with the businesses on execution of those opportunities. And the one thing is equally important is people. So the role of talent HR was very critical in making sure the adoption, the scale building is there. So I would say one of the keys was making sure the right operating model, so the businesses have the federated model to take ownership, but there are governance mechanisms in place.
And people, they play a crucial role, correct?
Absolutely. So I would say we are proud to be one of the very, very early adopters of technologies like Copilot. And now things have evolved much beyond, and most of our organization then actually was very used to what does AI mean, and how do you leverage that in basic day-to-day work, and of course a very structured training program.
Thank you very much. So now, Rob, for you the question, I think it will be more in the direction that, so we're going now in the direction of personalization. This is very important now in the retail, but considering, for example, groups which have complexity of different brands and they have different channels, especially when you look at marketing activity, what is the trade-off between personalizing it, but keeping at the same time a brand identity?
So I guess I'm going to go on a bit of an anti-AI rant now.
Okay.
Is anyone sick of hearing about AI? I kind of am a little bit. AI is not the answer to everybody's problems. We heard it this morning. AI has been around for years. We've all been using AI in marketing for a long time. You know, PMX from Google came along a long time ago. And also AI is dangerous if you don't understand it. Everybody who's as old as I am remembers when Google first separated their campaigns between your desktop experience and your mobile experience, and they gave us all this fantastic equation to say this is how much you should be spending on your mobile campaigns. You know, this is an AI algorithm. Give us your money, we'll tell you how to spend it. So you have to be careful. And the wave of AI is undeniable. It is coming. Arguably, it's already here. The generative era is now. The agentic era is next, and it's going to be scary and exciting all at the same time. But if you don't have active programs already in place to work out what your omnichannel retail business looks like, and you're looking at AI as some panacea to solve all of your problems, then I think you're in a bad place. So, what is personalization? And and what the hell does hyper-personalization mean? What is hyper-personalization? Is hyper just a word everyone's stuck on the front of personalization just to make it sound more interesting? I think it probably is. Personalization is personalization. Great marketing is all about marketing to a cohort of one, right? It's about right product, right place, right time. It's always been the same. This isn't new. So how can AI make us or help us make better decisions, I think is the question. Adam, I think you summarized it brilliantly earlier on. AI is something that is going to enable us to make better decisions. It's not here to make decisions for us. And personalization is a place where we've been for an awful long time. Are computers able to make better personalized recommendations than human beings are? Yeah, they are. So there's a great example of something where AI can help. But as Adam said, you don't need an AI strategy. If anyone's coming into your business and saying, what is your AI strategy? They've kind of missed the point. You have business problems where AI is going to help you solve them. And personalization is something that's been around long before we started talking about AI like we are today. So how we're tackling personalization is no different to how we were tackling it before the whole generative and now agentic AI era boomed, and that is understanding what our consumers want, ensuring that we are using the right channels and the right frequency to connect with those segments of different consumers that are not just different in the UAE, but different across the GCC. We all know how different the Saudi consumer is from the Kuwaiti consumer, from the UAE consumer, from the Qatari consumer, etc., etc. So I'm in the camp where I don't believe that AI is going to take our jobs yet. I do believe that people that know how to use AI will take our jobs. So get on the bus, because if you don't, it will consume you. But I think we've all now got to face into an era where it's kind of exciting and scary at the same time. We've got to adopt, we've got to embrace, we've got to make sure AI is part of our future. But at the same time, in a world of artificial intelligence, I think that actual intelligence, and as human beings and as leaders, our emotional and social intelligence levels for our people are more important than ever. So I guess I'm sitting here today as a firm believer in what AI will bring and how exciting AI will make the future. But at the same time, let's not forget that a lot of this stuff's been around for an awful long time, and our power as leaders and our power as human beings is more important than ever, because there are some things, for now at least, that the computers can't beat us on.
Thank you. And I think it will build on what Rob just said for a question for you, Olivier, which is, it was mentioning that generally you do start by a business problem or a need, and then you build technology on top of that. Now, when we are talking about retail, we think about like a bulk group, but actually there are a lot of differences between retail. So my question is, if you look specifically at grocery retail in the UAE, what are the specific challenges, problems, opportunity that you see, and how technologies can help or foster in pursuing these opportunities?
Yes, so unlike luxury retail or many other retail categories, grocery retail is more functional. It's less emotion driven. It's high intensity. It's necessity driven. So we build this emotional connection through trust. So we heard trust before, but in grocery retail, trust is key. Our customers need to trust us to have an enjoyable weekly or daily shopping experience, to have the right freshness of the goods, to have the right assortment, to have the right price point. So this is how we build the emotional connection. And in the UAE, on top of that, we have a very multicultural kind of population. So we also need to cater for this diversity, which brings some challenges in terms of grocery, because I don't shop as somebody from India would shop, or somebody from the UK would shop, or somebody from Eastern Europe would shop. So we are trying to adapt the assortment that we are proposing to our customers based on the location and based on the community that we are serving. And technology really underpins everything, from the selection of the location that we are opening a new store and the community that we're going to serve, to the definition of the assortment that we will suggest to serve this particular community, to the pricing strategy as well, and what is the price point to which we're going to sell the goods in those stores.
Thank you very much. And then Vishal, I have one question for you. And then just for you to know, we are conscious of time, so we'll go through a quick round through the panel, and then we can wrap up and leave time to the question. So Vishal, I would say the final question for you would be, you mentioned at the beginning that Mayor Group is a very complex group that operate across different sectors. Retail is one of those, but there are other sectors as well. So my question would be, again, a little bit more of a strategic side. If you look from an AI, a technological side, and if you look at customer emotions, they can be very different across sectors. So how do you deal with these sorts of complexity? How do you try to use technology? What is the strategy to track emotional connection across different sectors, which again can be extremely different?
Okay, so as I mentioned, we are, as a company, built out of multiple mergers. 5 companies merged into one. Before customer emotional connection, I need to build a company connection. Okay, so strategy is very simple. It's a capability and platform-centric model. Whether it's a real estate business or retail business, or we also have oil and gas services business, wherein I have more than 2,500 trucks, cranes, heavy equipment, all those kind of things, where there is no customer. It's a B2B. So there is no emotional thing. But the point is, what we are trying to do here is to build a great company, we need to have a great foundation. So my focus in last 12 months, my effort is totally gone into how do we build this solid foundation. One ERP, because I inherited 5 different ERPs, 5 different point of sale, BI all over the place, data all over the place. So what we are trying to do is, and we have a warehouse in Kizad with multiple minus 25 degree, minus 10 degree ambient temperature driven warehouses. How do we manage all of this complexity with a platform-centric approach? And then once these multiple building blocks are landed, with keeping in mind that people will ask those things that you are asking me on the AI strategy and emotional connects and all that, we need to have a data strategy. For data strategy, the foundation need to be in place. So I'm so glad that my board hasn't appointed anyone who is with a fancy title as VP transformation, because the whole company is going through the transformation. I'm not against people coming with those titles, but we got an opportunity to relook at our entire processes afresh. Hence, today I'm very happy to share with you that we are one ERP already. We are one warehouse system already. We are one data lake on Snowflake already. We are already done most of the things. We are one HR system. So I know right from my contractors to my every damn thing is all consolidated as a data, as a way of working and operating model is all done in just less than a year. So the whole idea is then what are the growth topics which you mentioned about emotional connect and all these things. So those are the things which we are going to build because we are so blessed as a company that we have a lot of Emirati families trusting our brand and walking in our stores and buying loads of stuff. We have a very strong connect. The only thing we need to do is just land the basics right. If we get that done, sorted, if they get the fresh fish, you need to just do the basics. Okay, people will come, as he mentioned earlier. So you don't need to do fancy stuff. Just do the basics right, people will come. You need to have your master data right. You need to do all those things which runs the business. You don't have to do fancy stuff because I've done multiple fancy stuffs early in my life. But if you have one disappointed customer, that damages your business more than whatever you can do on your side. That's my take. Sorry for the long answer, but...
Thank you very much. So what I would like to do is like a quick last question, the same question for everyone, and just I would like you to share your thoughts very quickly, how the future looks like. What do you see, how do you see technology and AI is going to impact everything which is linked to customer experience in the next 12 to 18 months? Just a couple of thoughts. So Sharif, should we start?
Thank you. So in terms of future trends and how we're seeing retailers, and I can't agree with Rob more around his comments around having an AI strategy. What we've noticed with customers globally as well as in the region, there's a growing dependency on AI to automatically generate personalized content. And I know many retailers are already doing that in the region. So not just in terms of languages, but predicting customer churn, identifying and performing what's the next best action. That's kind of where we are today. I think where the future is going is something around reinforcement learning. So I don't know if everyone is familiar with what reinforcement learning is, but think about an AI agent that learns to make optimal decisions through trial and error. And then they receive feedback via the form of either rewards or penalties. And then they're able, based on that cycle, they're able to automate experimentation, which is something that I find a lot of leaders in marketing today say takes a lot of time. It's a lot of trial and error. How can we fine-tune that process and accelerate that process? And think of an AI agent that can potentially be for every single customer that you have. So how can you use AI to have an agent potentially in what is today the same cohort or in the same segment or even the same micro segment? How can he get a different offer potentially based on the data and the unified profile that you have about them? So what that really enables you, those two trends, what those really enable you to do is to move away from A/B testing and manual segmentation to something that really drives loyalty, feels personalized, consistent, and to tap into your previous question, brings in an omni-channel experience, especially in GCC where everyone is mobile, WhatsApp, driven, and what they buy in the store, when they get home and they get a message or they get an email, they want a message that takes that into consideration and gets real-time messaging around that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Adam, what are your thoughts?
I don't think we know where AI is going. I think it's pointless to even think about where it's going. I think if you look at what we've been using AI 6 months ago, or the generative AI 6 months ago, to what we used it 3 months ago, to what we use it for today. I remember 12 months ago, all I used AI for was to upload my document and make it better. That's all we did. And now it's really impacting every facet of where we are. So I think my key takeaways is don't worry about the big picture stuff. Don't worry about the big IT, AI, tech projects. Worry about the problems that you're having today in the business. Worry about putting in quick AI solutions that are going to deliver real impact and real ROI immediately. Focus on that and you'll be fine for the future.
Thank you. Jay.
I think AI has a lot of potential, at least for the luxury e-commerce business, to bridge the physical digital gap that exists. Luxury as a segment is something wherein a person needs to trust you. Having with the augmented reality features coming in, virtual try-ons, a person sitting in US might be able to try on a product that is kept in Saudi and tell whether this will work for him or not. And that will give the person an assurance. So I think that is one segment which I feel in terms of personalization, this is really going to help. Other than that, like the other panelists mentioned, in terms of AI for efficiency, which is a problem statement for a lot of companies, is gonna bring in a lot of changes. I see AI potential in places like demand forecasting, pricing. Agentic AI is something that is really the talk of the town, wherein, from earlier people used to shy away from chatbots because they're too robotic. Now it's impossible to tell a difference between an agent and a chatbot. So with all these, the cost of each transaction will go down. And therefore, the entire experience for the consumer is going to become fast, it's going to become effortless, it's going to become rewarding.
Thank you. Harshit.
Sure. So I think the way I would frame it is, in the era of digitalization, we've heard a lot of buzzwords, right? And Rob said personalization versus hyper-personalization, omni-channel, phygital journeys, etc. I think what fundamentally AI does is actually helps us realize a lot of that promise from what it's not been realized as much, right? So from a consumer perspective, the combination of good old machine learning technologies, if I can call that, with generative, with agentic, gives a much better personalized experience. And that's what we are seeing in practice. At the same time, I think it's an important, to Jay's point, a lot of operational efficiency which we are seeing, whether it's pricing, for demand forecasting, markdown optimization. And thirdly, I think something we tend to forget is our staff in the front lines. Our frontline workers are now empowered with a lot of data and insights that can help them serve the customer much better in ways we had not seen that before. So that I would see is the 1 to 2 year horizon on how the customer experience is really changing.
Thank you. Rob?
I'm going to be really prescriptive because I'm a big believer in consequential AI. Let's say I believe that 80% of AI at the moment is basically just fluff and fun and just kind of, ooh, but it doesn't actually do anything. Consequential AI is the 20% of what's around at the moment that actually produces some kind of tangible gain. It either improves the workforce and the time and resources that you're expending on doing things, or it improves the customer experience. So I'm going to pin my hopes on the future of AI being a good thing. I believe it's going to be a power for good. I think we're going to be able to use it to be anti-scrolling. I think AI will help people find a curated choice. I hope it will help people stop wasting their time trying to find something. I hope it will make us more laser focused on finding, what it is that we want to find, and ultimately it will help stop this tsunami of negative social media that's, I believe, ruining our children's lives. Social media is one of the biggest destructive technologies I think that the human race has ever seen. And my daughter's 20 years old. I've seen her grow up with it, and it's a very dangerous technology, and it's changed the way that we live. And I think AI can be an antithesis for some of the things that I've seen social media do. But in terms of this prescriptive part of what I was going to say, we are focused on two main things for AI. One is that I believe AI can serve a real purpose for our people in our business. You know, I think that data, you know, how difficult is it for your people in your teams, you know, whether they're e-commerce teams, omnichannel teams, whatever, to get an answer to a question? They have to go into a complex analytical tool. They have to know how to code. They have to understand how to, you know, to get at something that should be simple. Imagine being able to go into an agentic front end and say, I want to know how many people browsed our site yesterday, spent this long on the site, viewed this many products, came from this channel and might do this next. Help me understand and produce a campaign. That's cool. That's where I think AI can be quite important. And I also think that agentic front ends on websites are going to become a thing in the next 12, 18 months, whether we like it or not. We've already heard about Google Zero Search. You know, that's something that everyone, I'm sure, is already focused on. The notion of search now not generating traffic, but, you know, zero actual traffic coming from Google search results and, you know, other search results. So I think the notion of people browsing websites now and never leaving the homepage because they can just talk to it and find what they want without having to navigate in a traditional capacity is not just coming, it's already here. So that's where I'm focused.
Thank you very much.
And sorry for the
Yeah, I know. I would say, Oliver?
Yeah, so I think AI has a bright future. So I think we need to be very ambitious, but we also need to be cautious. And I see two main challenges in terms of AI. The first one is around cost. Especially when you are using those big LLMs, it's token-based, and very quickly, if you want to scale your models, it becomes extremely expensive. And the second challenge is around data. AI works on data, and if you don't have the right data governance, data quality checks, AI is totally useless. And to conclude, I would like to say as well that personalization is not only around knowing your customer preference better. It's also about sometimes giving the driving wheels to your customers, because they know themselves best and they know what they want best. So we are launching an AI assistant next week, which is called Grand Chef, and our customers will be able to automatically build their cart based on recipes, dietary requirement, culinary taste, and they will be just driving the way they want to shop and will not dictate the way they need to shop in our stores.
Thank you. Vishal? What?
I'll say something controversial. If you go a few years back, 2-3 years back, people were talking about metaverse. Are we really talking metaverse? Where did metaverse go? Okay. Now you go to any meeting, any conference, people are talking too much AI. Guys, let's get the basics right. Customer is walking into your store, give him what or she or he is looking for at a right price. That's it. If you get it right, you make tons of money. You'll be able to get bonus for yourself and for everyone in your team. Don't talk too much of fluff. Just focus on doing what is basic. Don't buy unnecessary technology. Don't look at fancy PPTs. Just focus on efficiency topic and how do you grow the business. So if I am putting any dollar or any dirham into any so-called AI initiative, it has to contribute towards the efficiency topic, save me some money, bring efficiency in our processes, or solving some real problem for business where they are able to sell more or their inventory is optimized or some real use cases. Sorry, I'm very emotional about it, but I'm also angry about too much of AI. People don't have basics in many companies. They don't even have, the suppliers don't have the right master data in place. You ask them to supply a good, any item, that items comes with multiple barcodes. What the heck is going on? So we are not, as a country, everyone is not following GTIN standards, barcode standards. Not many retailers are even subscribing to GTIN database on the master data. What are we talking about? So this is a retail forum, and I believe this is a very serious matter. We need to move towards standardization in our business, from suppliers to shippers to sellers and the whole ecosystem, which is my request to everybody in the ecosystem. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
So yes, no, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we don't have time for Q&A.
Any question still?
I don't think they've asked
Amitabh,
twice.
I hope we have a scope for one question. Anyone? No question? Anurima, don't be so tough. One question. Okay. Thank you.
I would say if you have questions, then you can.
Okay, I hope the next panel will not talk AI. No? Very good. Customer experience without AI. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.